Next step, after you sanded off all the pencil marks, a reminder where the pencil marks are. On the sides, on the back, on the bottom, and the O's on the inside. Once that's done, you don't get it graded until all the sides are even. What that means is where two different pieces of wood come together, you could have it when you sand, you want to sand with the green until that's flat. With the green until you don't have a bump. Right here, you want to have this so there is not a bump. How you do that easier is hold it on the edge of the table like that and sand. You want to do the same to the front till it is flat. You don't sand anything on the bottom. If it's a little bumpy, that's fine. It's on the bottom, we won't notice it. So we only want to do the sides and the front. We want this piece of wood, and this piece of wood to feel like one piece of wood. Then you get step 13 graded before you go on to the next step. The next step is
fill in the cracks as demonstrated.
Where you will have cracks are where two pieces of wood come together, maybe. So if you cut right, filed right, and nailed right, you won't have any cracks. If you have a crack, that's where it might be, where two different pieces of wood come together. You might have a crack going down here. You might have a crack in front. You might have a crack in back. Don't fill any of the cracks on the inside. You want to get glue. When you do glue, you just want to have enough so it covers up the inside of the crack. Just a little bit to cover up the crack. Again, you don't need to cover any on the bottom. So that would be too much. So just put it so it covers the crack. Then with a dry paper towel, wipe off as much glue as you can. That looks all right, but it's going to dry clear. We don't want it to dry clear. We want to mix a little sawdust in it. The sawdust is over in this tray right here. Do the gluing at your table, fill it in over here. Put sawdust in it, more than you need, and push it so it goes into the crack. You can do more than one crack if you have, do one side at a time. Fill all the cracks in there, sand. Fill all the cracks in there, sand. Fill all the cracks in there, sand. Brush it off. When you sand over it, make sure that you use sandpaper. If you use this, glue and sawdust is going to dry on here and it's going to cause a spot where you can't sand anymore. So put that in your folder and sand over it. If you use a little amount of glue, you're not going to have to do much sanding. You just want to sand until that all looks clean. So it doesn't take too long, but eventually that side will get clean. Once you have all the cracks filled in on the sides, look on the front and the back. Those are the only cracks you have to fill. Then you get it graded. When you get graded, I'm going to let you do the first part of the next step, which is sand with 220 grit.